Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30. It is Wednesday, September 24th. Time to wrap it up. And so we got some weakness. This morning we said we were in that stage two, and we were given the overnight. We were looking at getting short against the 6730s or look to buy against the 6715 and the 6700s, and then basically looking for that early weakness to see. If the stage two was going to extend to the downside. And so far it has. They held on pretty darn good until we got past the London close and they knocked it one level lower. They're still down here at the 6680s, hasn't taken out. So we're still pretty much in a good spot. Haven't really sold off, just backing off the highs. But we're still in stage two. We're still extending to the downside. So that's how we're going to get started in the overnight. So looking to sell strength. At this point, probably against that 66 and 95s and the 66, 6700s, the single prints. If they trade up above these three single prints, F period, we'll be back range bound. But starting off from the short side, looking to sell strength, see how far they can take it on the downside. And if they close above that 6700, we are back range bound. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. But that's how we get started in overnight. Now, news for tomorrow morning. We're looking at a fair amount of stuff. At 8:30, we get durable goods, read, GDP, we get international trade and jobless claims, corporate profits, retail inventories, and wholesale inventories. That's all happening at 8:30. Ton of stuff coming out. Then at 10 o'clock, we get existing home sales, Kansas City Fed manufacturing at 11, and that's about it for the trading day. 7-year auction at 1, right? So that's where we got going tomorrow. Then, of course, on Friday, we get that personal income number and the inflation read. But right now, starting off with looking for early weakness or for weakness, see if they can take it lower. Pretty much how we get started going into the overnight. Watch that level, the 6700, close above it to go back range bound. Otherwise, we'll stay on the short side. Watch the lower 6670 and 6660s. Both of those come out. We may be having a little bit more of a pullback or a correction beginning. So far, I would just say that we are pulling back off the highs a couple of days. So looking to find a spot to cut off the selling and basically enter that stage three part. NASDAQ and the bond market not going anywhere, just did not retest the lows. Well, it kind of did actually towards the end here. It had a nice little rotation down, tested that 1605s, and then backed off from that. So, okay, we'll take that. We'll start range bound around 116.10, still working that lower edge. And watch that 116, that comes out. At that point, we're back on the short side. So we'll see if the overnight's going to try to take this higher or not. But I would just start off flat out range bound and see how the overnight develops. On the bonds, so on the Nasdaq, nice move to the downside. Same story there. That they took out that 2780s. We had a nice little run down here, and they overshot the 60s, the 700s. That was the level I was paying attention to. They overshot that one. I've been building value below it for a bit. That's a big move to the downside. That typical Nasdaq. No, I didn't. I missed the kind of the starting point of this, and I didn't want to chase it. So instead, I was looking for a buying opportunity down here. So when I ran into that, this 100% extension, that's usually a good spot for a little pullback. I tried twice to get long. Both of them got shaken out, and that was just up a few bucks. They did take it. That's when that last little rush to the downside happened. So I didn't get caught in it. And then on the way back up, I tried one more short trade after this. Looks like it was stalling for a move lower. I had got a little bit more of that thing. So on these three trades, I got 16 bucks. Did not try to be super aggressive after. I could not make up my mind because you can see it runs it higher, then backs off, runs it higher, gets people caught on the long side, then it does this big reversal here, and it doesn't follow through on the downside. So a typical slop after that move. So the big move is over, and here they just get you caught on the wrong side of the market a couple of times here. I didn't fall for it this time, so I was just. But sometimes you get that nice retrace into the mean. Sometimes you get another retest of the lows, and you just have to be pacing yourself. If you want to get long for a move higher, you're looking for a pullback when it looks like it's going to go the other way. That's kind of the time you need to get long. And then vice versa on the short side. So if the time it looks to me like when it runs lower like this, when it starts looks like it's holding and it starts running it higher, that's when you need to get short. If you're thinking that you want to get in on the short side, it's counterintuitive, but that gives you the trade location you need. It's much easier to like just get short when it starts heading lower, but you give up a lot of trade location when you do that. And sometimes if you get caught, you don't have nowhere to go after that. So as you know. Anyway, so three trades, that's $16 and that's all I got. It could have been a good day though, but if they had worked out a bit better, but yeah, you do what you can. And then finally, oil and gold. Gold heading lower, then definitely look at that. That's here you have a correction happening on gold. So they took out the 70s. All right, they took out the 70s. At that point, we're staying on the short side, no retracement. They're down here at the 37.50s. I'm going to be looking for retest at 37.30, 37.40 here, these levels. And then, of course, if you head a little bit lower, we'll be back into this volume area here, the 36.80s. It's going to be that attractor on the downside. So on gold, if you're just looking at the bigger picture, you can see how hard it retraces when it starts. Right down here, this low volume area is going to be the first hurdle, 37.40s. Then the next level down is going to be this attractor down here at the 36.80s. And I think they can get all the way down there, reverse retest all the way down to that level. So I would start off on the short side on gold. Let's see how far they can take it. If they trade up above that 37.70s, we'll be back on I'll take off the short bias, but initially looking to get short against these single prints here, an L and this level right there, the 37.60s, and then up to 37.70s. All right, so that's gold. No trades on gold for me today. Oil traded up a little bit today, but did not do much in terms of the extending. So they're just up here testing these upper edges. Kind of sloppy trading on oil. Have not tried to do much on that guy at all. So there you have it. All right, so that's oil and gold. I would start off with looking for early strength on gold, on oil, see if they can retest these highs, maybe take it higher. And on gold, I would start off looking for early weakness to see if they can take it lower. All right, so that's how we get started on those two. Back to the ES. And both ES and Nasdaq kind of overlapped it. Now we get watch the last 10 minutes. If you're going to see some selling there, that could be indicative of the overnight. If it gets if it's start heading higher, you start retracing back about 6,700, then yeah, you get a good indication that we may be retracing in the overnight. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But at this point, that's how we get started. Looking for early weakness on both ES and Nasdaq. All right, guys. We'll wrap it there. We'll leave it there. I'll see you back at bright and early in the morning. You have a good evening. Later.